The writing was on the wall. Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin. Today we'll begin the second of the 4 videos on the amazing book of Daniel. The book of Daniel is divided into 2 parts. The first part is chapter 1 up to chapter number 6 and takes care of the historical part of the book of Daniel. And chapter 7 up to chapter 12 takes care of the visions and the revelations by Daniel. Today we will discuss on the historical part of the book of Daniel. The clock in the book of Daniel began in 605 BC, when Daniel and his friends and other Jews were taken into captivity in the land of Babylon. There they would live all their lives and they would never ever get to go back to Jerusalem. In the first chapter of the book of Daniel, we see Daniel and his friends brought into King Nebuchadnezzar's courts, into his palace. In the second chapter, we see Daniel interpreting the dream of the king. And we also see Daniel raised to a place of prominence, and he became a ruler in the kingdom of Babylon. Chapter number 3 shows Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego conquering the violence of the fire. All the way up to chapter number 5, where we read about the writing on the wall, where the king Belshazzar was judged by God. All this covered a period of up to 5 chapters within the kingdom of Babylon. And by the time we are coming to chapter number 5, we are coming to the close of the kingdom of Babylon. Chapter number 6 shows us coming into a new kingdom, which was the Medo-Persian kingdom led by King Darius. It was during this time that Daniel was thrown into the den of lions. And during this period, we see again Daniel conquering and subduing the lions. This covered a period of 6 chapters, and it was the historical portion of the book of Daniel. This chapter number 6 shows that Daniel became very prosperous during his entire period up to that end. I will then invite you to study the first 6 chapters of the book of Daniel and enjoy the history of this man Daniel and his friends, and how they conquered the kingdoms in which they lived. Just a few questions for you that I'd like to ask you. Who was Melzar, and who was his immediate boss in the book of Daniel? Number 2, what is the key learning point by King Nebuchadnezzar when God humbled him in Daniel chapter number 4? And lastly, what was the most important characteristic of the law of the Medes and the Persians? The first person to answer all the 3 questions correctly will get a free book. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also remember to like and share, subscribe, and also press the bell on this YouTube message. Thank you.